Antetokounmpo to Middleton, knocked away by White. White comes up with a steal. And White will dribble it out. 6 seconds remaining. Gets away from Green, throws it into Harper. The Celtics are going to win. Harper banks it home. The Boston Celtics championship resilience on full display. A gritty win and a hard fight.
Welcome back to the All Things Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Vic Lopez, as always, and I want to talk about Celtics Bucks, which happened last night. This game went down to the wire. Really good defense by both teams throughout. Not a lot of turnovers in this game from either team. I want to talk about a couple of things going into this game that I thought were very important. Bucks are currently 26th in opponent fast break points. So horrendous transition defense. Bucks also just don't really take care of the ball. They're 12th in turnovers. They're actually 17th in opponent points off of turnovers. They're allowing 18.6 points per game just on turnovers alone. And with the Celtics defense as good as it is, you would think that that's something the Bucks really had to lock in on and just be careful about. That's just a couple of things that stood out to me that I was really going to be looking at with these Milwaukee Bucks. And look, they played well on defense. I think the Bucks showed up in this game and they really just kind of lost their composure in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter to be exact. And I think the most interesting part about this entire thing to me going into this game was that the Bucks were riding a wave of wins. And I think the media was hyping them up a lot. Bucks go on this crazy win streak. Bucks are back, right? You get the comments, don't sleep on us now, all that good stuff, all that crap. It's almost like people aren't even paying attention to the real sample of what the Bucks actually did. So before getting into the last 5 minutes of this game, I'm going to show some clips and we're going to go through all those plays. I want to just quickly go over the sample of those last games from the Bucks. They played the Raptors without Damian Lillard, but they played against the Raptors without Scottie Barnes. They play the Pistons at home, then they go at Charlotte. That game was also without Damian Lillard. They actually lost that game to the Hornets. They get a good win against the Rockets at home, then they get the Bulls, then they get the struggling Pacers. They play the Hornets all at home, all those last three teams at home. Then they go to Miami, and that was a good win. They played without Giannis. Then they get the Wizards at home. They go at Pistons. And then finally, they lose in the second night of a back-to-back against the Hawks with a chance to hopefully bounce back against these Celtics. And it just goes to show that run that they went on of wins, wins are wins, right? You go 9-1, whatever the number is. And look, I'm not going to shit on what they were able to do in that stretch, without Giannis, without Dame, but they played really bad teams. And these are games that if Giannis doesn't play, if Dame doesn't play, I still expect the Bucks to win if they have one of those two guys in their lineup because of how bad the other teams really are. Just go back and look at the games. It's really not that impressive to me. Wins are wins. When we start talking about the Bucks are back and people are sleeping on the Bucks and here they come, just look at the schedule and decide for yourself if you think that it's a compelling slate of games for them. Now, super winnable game by the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they choked it away. So I want to talk about those last 5 minutes, getting straight into the clips. So Bucks are up 99-96. There's about 5 minutes left in this game. So they get this post up with Lopez on Derek White, which, I'm surprised they didn't really go to this to draw more double teams. Horford helps over. Lopez kicks it out to Giannis. He quickly kicks it out to Gary Trent Jr. He misses the shot, so we're going the other way. Tatum calls for a pick and roll with Drew so he can get AJ Green. Giannis stays to help AJ, and Tatum finds Drew on the slip. Really good pass from him. 99-98 Bucks. Then it's Dame next time down the floor. He's got the ball. We get a really weak screen from Giannis. So then Jaylen Brown's able to catch up to Dame, and maybe Brown gets away with a foul on this missed three by Dame, but Dame's been complaining about these non-shooting foul calls all game long, all season long. He's always hunting for these off of the screens, and he should have known by now that he hasn't really gotten these calls. So Tatum grabs the rebound. Horrible transition defense by Giannis here, and the Bucks. Easy layup for Tatum. Celtics are up 100-99. Bucks take a timeout. Then on the next possession, Giannis catches it at the three-point line. Horford's on him, and he basically baits Giannis into a long two, and Giannis misses that one. Celtics come down. Derek White attacks Trent Jr., and really great hands by Gary Trent Jr. He's able to poke the ball loose, and in the middle of that chaos, Middleton's close by, makes contact, and it's a Celtics turnover. So Bucks still obviously in this game. Middleton, the very next play, he gets a clean look for a step back two. Now, this is his first game back, but he misses this shot. Lopez wasn't able to put it back, and now we get the Celtics coming back down, and we get this Tatum-Holiday pick and roll. The Bucks decide to blitz it. Middleton gets a really good deflection, but Holiday's just right there. He gets it back. It's a hectic sequence. Holiday airballs it. Things are looking promising for the Bucks at this point. Dame comes down and just casually makes it to the paint. He gets a nice dunk. Horrible Celtics defense. Bucks are now up 101-100. Tatum then comes down. He gets Brook Lopez on the switch. He attacks him. He finds Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown makes the extra pass to Al. Al Horford attacks Lopez on the closeout and finds Tatum backdoor. Really good pass. Great moment for the Celtics here. They call the goaltending on Giannis because he had his hand on the rim, and now the Celtics are up 102-101. Dame comes down, holds the ball for the entire time. No movement whatsoever. Running out of time, step back three-pointer. He misses it. White grabs a huge rebound around Giannis, and then we get a Holiday miss, wide open three on the other end. Then we get this absurd moment from Giannis. He comes down the floor, and he takes the three for the unreal miss, right? Just, again, Giannis with these just horrible decisions, taking a three that no one in the building believes is even going to go in. I have no idea why he chose to take it. The only thing I can think of is, hey, they're leaving me open. I got a chance to put us ahead. Let me take... It's just... I don't know what else to think about this one. This was horrible by Giannis. I mean, this is just an absolute morale destroyer. You're coming down the floor. Giannis takes that three. Celtics come down. Horford makes his three. And now it's 105-101 Celtics. Middleton comes down. He attacks the paint. Al Horford gets a huge block, but Giannis grabs the board. He gets fouled. He then splits the free throws. We get an open three by Brown, but he misses it. Bucks are only down three at this point. Totally winnable game. There's a minute left. Dame takes a three that he's pretty much comfortable taking, just off the pick and roll, immediately curling around that. He takes it, but it's way off. Tatum attacks Lopez. The Bucks collapse. He finds Drew. Middleton sprints out, but Holiday just blows by him for the deep clutch floater. It's 107-102 Celtics. You're basically thinking, okay, this one's probably over. And then Brown fouls Middleton on a three. This was just, they try to challenge it. It's unsuccessful. It's just a bad contest by Brown. You know, barely touching him, but you don't want to give the Bucks any breathing room. Don't bail him out. He makes all his free throws, and now it's 107-105 Celtics. Holiday then gets fouled. He makes his free throws. It's 109-105 Celtics up. And then Derek White seals it with a steal, and it's game over. Great way to close the game by the Celtics. Very impressive. Sam Hauser was also awesome, who I forgot to mention, just hitting clutch threes, huge ones, honestly. Al Horford was big in this game. Just looking at the box score from this game, and it's kind of scary if you're an opponent looking at these Boston Celtics. You get 34 from Tatum, 25 from Brown. You get 20 from Holiday, 16 from Sam Hauser. You get 8 from Horford, who honestly was solid on defense. Horford wasn't efficient in this game, but just defensively holding his own against Giannis. Yes, Giannis went off this game. Giannis is always going to go off. He's going to get what he wants. But Horford definitely holding his own on a lot of those matchups. And we get 0 from Peyton Pritchard, right? Just kind of a no-show in this game. You also get a 1 for 10 Derek White. By the way, obviously can't let this escape me. No Kristaps Porzingis in this game either. Now, on the Bucks side of things, you get a big game from Giannis, 30 and 11, right? You get 31 from Dame on, some rough shooting from three, but Middleton, you can't expect much from him. It's his first game back. Had a great first quarter, like I mentioned earlier. But, 11 points, still a bit off. Just got to kind of get in rhythm over the course of the season. You get 9 points from Bobby Portis, who just couldn't get shots to fall, but he had 18 rebounds. Gary Trent Jr., 11 points, hit some big shots, honestly, had some good defensive moments. But Brook Lopez, no show. Taurean Prince has to leave the game early. I think he was dealing with an illness. Not much out of Andre Jackson Jr. He played about 12 minutes. And look, you want to say what you want about Chris Middleton. He's not ready yet. It's just his first game, if you're thinking on the bright side for the Milwaukee Bucks. But just keeping it 100, man. You get a bad game from Derek White offensively for the Celtics. You get pretty much a no-show from Peyton Pritchard. And you also don't even have Porzingis in this game. And Celtics looking good, not panicking, not in trouble. This was a back-and-forth game, but the Celtics just never lost their composure, right? They're just going to keep chucking threes. They're going to get what they want. When they're swinging the ball, attacking closeouts on bad matchups, putting the Bucks in rotation when they get Brook Lopez on switches, when they get Bobby Portis on switches, when they get AJ Green on a switch, they're just always going to find that mismatch. They're going to attack it. It's going to be more threes. So Celtics just in a whole other class. Still hard to judge between these two teams when every time they play, someone's missing, right? No Porzingis, no Middleton. So definitely a fun game last night, but hard to think anything about the Bucks when the Celtics aren't even at full strength, not even close to it. And the reason these games are typically close are because, number one, you have Giannis, who is just a beast in the paint. Celtics allow a lot of points in the paint. So off the bat, that's a really good matchup for Giannis to kind of go off. So when those threes aren't falling for the Celtics, Giannis is getting really good looks at the basket. If Dame is hitting his shots, this is a very close game. And that's exactly what we were seeing. Early game, Dame, Giannis doing their thing, consistently getting to the rim. And Celtics kind of missing their shots. You saw that 0 for 12 third quarter. All in all, fun game to watch. I left this game thinking, look, man, the Bucks definitely showed heart. They defended much better. They got a lot of things to work on. Still with the Damian Lillard isolation, with the Giannis 3 towards the end of that game, man. Just, I don't understand why he continues to take them. And look, he only took 1. And people are going to probably knock me for saying that, hey, man, that 3 wasn't everything. But it was just such a bad time to take it. I don't understand why Giannis he sees that this game is just so winnable. You're in control, and you bail your team, and then you bail the Celtics out. Just a horrendous shot. And coming down the floor, the Celtics are just going to get another good look. You can't play with these Boston Celtics. These guys, they're too deep. They're too skilled. There are very few weaknesses with this team, if any, other than the fact that they just chuck a bunch of threes. It's really, you can't play with that, and Giannis taking that 3. You got Damian Lillard with that isolation play towards the end of the fourth as well. These are just bad decisions that cost them games. I broke that down a couple of weeks ago, talked about how bad the Bucks offense looks sometimes, just poor shot selection, poor decision making, turning the ball over, sloppy transition defense. This team can't defend in transition. All you got to do is run against them, and you're going to be competitive against the Bucks. The Bucks are going to get their points, right? They score a lot of points, right? They can make threes. They got a lot of guys that can shoot threes, which is another reason that they can match up well with these Celtics, because they do have guys that can compete shot for shot. The problem is, if you're not going to play defense, then that's where the Celtics are going to take advantage, because the Celtics are really fun game. Celtics just in a class of their own, man.